everyone, welcome back to the England All Model Railway. In this video we'll be reviewing the Bachmann Modified Hall. This locomotive was given to me by my brother as a birthday present not long ago. He purchased it from Lord & Butler for a price of, I believe, £90. It is a silent digital model, but in the future it will receive a digital sound decoder with a speaker. But for now, let's take it out of its box and see what the details are like up close and personal. Here we are at the turntable with the Bachmann Modified Hall. For those who have watched my review of the Hornby Railroad Hall class would wonder why I went through the pain of having another Bachmann Hall class. Basically, the one I had before this one was the more modern tooling. This is the older split chassis model, which I've had several models with this style of tender connection, and I haven't had much bad luck with them since. And I wanted the modified Hall, and unfortunately Bachmann are the only manufacturers that are willing to make the modified Hall in 00 gauge. If Hornby makes one, please let me know it, but I know for certain that they do not, and the likelihood will never happen. I've also had this model customized by my good friends at the GLR Bespoke works. Why? This locomotive was originally in BR green. To prevent mistaking it for my Hornby Railroad Hall, I've had it customized to BR black, and I had it name changed to a locomotive that actually worked in my hometown of Newport. This is Willington Hall, number 7927. This locomotive was preserved, but was used as a donor for the new Hawkesworth County and the new Grange class, which is Betton Grange. Onto the model itself. It is truly spectacular in the details, despite the fact that it's over 30 years old, and shows off the incredible work that my friends down at the GLR Bespoke Works has done. Their detailing and livery work are truly spectacular. Now we get a little bit closer up to its locomotive and see what the details look like up close and personal. Here we are up close and personal with the Bachmann Modified Hall. I've had this locomotive livery changed from BR green to BR black because I wanted to give this locomotive something to be special and different. When I originally ran it around my layout in BR green, its nameplates fell off, its cab number fell off. Just with that, I discovered it received a name change once in its life, and it looked okay, but I wanted it to be different and special. Already having a whole class in BR green, BR black was more of an interesting challenge. So we start off at the smoke box, 7927 Willington Hall, which was part of the preserved modified halls, but was used as donor parts for the new Hawkesworth County, which I'm looking forward to seeing in person, and the Betton Grange, which I'm also looking forward to seeing in person eventually. This locomotive actually worked in Newport. It was shed allocated in Newport in 1965, not long before it withdrawn from service. And we go down the side of the locomotive. The lining is truly insane. It's amazing on how Martin of the GLR Bespoke works could do, and Fox transfers, where you can get all these lining set, the complete lining set for a Great Western or ex Great Western locomotive quite easily. They may be a lot about £18, but if you don't want to get the one for the Hawksworth tender, it's all right. It's quite fine. They were happy to help me in acquiring these nameplates and cab plates, having them customized so they be appropriate for this locomotive. And it's truly amazing. A lot of hard work went into this locomotive, and it is truly spectacular. I've had crew figures put inside it just to make the details pop out even more. We go to the tender. The previous owner of this locomotive put a shovel in it. We got glazed. The tender is truly insane. I know I could have gotten the early British Railways crest insignia, but I couldn't find it at the time from Fox transfers. We go to the other side where most of the details of this locomotive are. Truly amazing. And now we'll do one thing that not many YouTubers have done to do a comparison between the modified hull and the regular hull class. I was surprised on the lackage of people who have done something like this on YouTube. It would be interesting to see the differences between both classes of the same type of locomotive and show off what the differences truly are. We begin our side comparison between both hull classes with starting off with Hellingham Hall. Hellingham Hall is an original hull class built by Charles Collett, and we'll point out the differences are from the front end of the locomotive onwards, such as this area, this blast pipe. These are mostly where you see the differences between both the hull class and the modified hull class. In performance, not much differences, but in appearances, it has taken me a while to see the differences between them, which was the main reason why I wanted the modified hull in the first place. Now we'll bring out Wellington Hall and show you the differences now. Now we've got Wellington Hall here. We shall now point out the differences in both hull class and modified hull. And immediately, whilst looking at both locomotives, you can see the differences in both locomotives immediately. We're using my old DS pointer. You can see where the Hawksworth frames, which what make these locomotive different, stand out. And the blast pipes are a lot more bigger and more higher on the side of the locomotive. And this thing behind the blast pipe, they what make the differences in both the appearances. So for those who didn't know the differences between both hull classes, this you can use as a guide to tell which one apart without having to look at the number of the locomotive. Now we'll go on and tell the history of the modified hull. The Great Western Modified Hall was designed by Frederick William Hawkesworth, built between 1944 to 1950 with 71 locomotives built. The modified halls marked the most changes compared to the original hall class, such as plate frames, plate frame structures, shorter footplate drop, cylinder walkers, different superheaters, and different drafting layout. The class proved to be very successful in various tasks, such as from goods work to passenger services, and throughout the cross-country and branch lines. Because of their reduced weight restrictions due to the modifications allowed them to operate in areas where many of the previous halls was not able to perform. They continued until January 1963, where withdrawals began, and continued until December 1965. 6 of these locomotives have been preserved. It would have been 7, but now it was turned into a donor for the new Hawkesworth County and the new Grange class. Now we take this locomotive down to the track to see what it can do. Here we are at the track with the Bachmann Modified Hall, Willington Hall. For this running session, it was just no question what it would be, a Great Western 460 running session. So, running with Willington Hall is this mixed siphon wagon with these chocolate and cream coaches. And on the second line, we have Hellingham Hall with siphon wagons. And on the third line, we have Winchester Castle with these blood and custard coaches. This should be very interesting. Now it's time to let these locomotives show what they are made of. Another fun-packed running session comes to a close. My final thoughts on the Bachmann modified hull: as long as your layout is good and placed securely, because these Bachmann modified hulls are a bit sensitive around some parts, some layouts, because just setting its running session was a bit of a difficulty, with the locomotive itself derailing once or twice. But despite that, we were able to complete the running session, and it was very enjoyable watching this beautiful locomotive going around. If you don't have a good quality layout, I would recommend you to adjust your layout according to this locomotive if you want the Bachmann modified hull or hull in general, just for the sake of your own mental well-being. If you are unable to adjust your layout, I would recommend the Hornby hull class, because that's more forgiving. But in the long run, the Bachmann modified hull is an exquisite locomotive. You can find them for fair prices on eBay, model railway expeditions, or your local model shop, which I would heavily recommend you support the local model shops. That is the end of my review of the Bachmann modified hull. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe to the Lone Ranger Motoring channel. If you have any ideas for the future, as long as they are feasible, please mention them in the comments, because we do read every comment and do respond to every comment, as long as they are fairly spoken. Until the next time, goodbye for now.